Today's cryptic crossword clue is David selflessly took off armour, pulled back slingshot, eviscerated giant. And this clue is pretty biblical. It's pretty in line with the story of David and Goliath. It didn't start off that biblical, but we kind of figured it out that we could lean into the story more, because not only does David famously beat Goliath it's not that biblical because we've used the word slingshot here. David did not beat Goliath with a slingshot. It was with a sling, which is kind of a different thing. But the word sling wouldn't work for our wordplay, as you will see, so we had to put slingshot in. So that was not as biblical, but David does take off armor in order to fight Goliath, because the king puts his armor on David and gives him a sword and says, go and fight Goliath. And David takes that off and says, no, I'm going to fight Goliath in the way that I'm used to. I'm used to like protecting sheep from lions and wolves. And I'm just used to doing that with like a sling and a rock and no armor. So that's how I'm going to fight Goliath. So he takes off the armor. Anyway, that's all just an aside. But what I want to talk about first, I've talked about a bunch of stuff. The technique that I want to talk about first is selflessly, which is a bit inside maybe in cryptic crossword clues, but once you know, but you can kind of figure it out, which is that if something is selfless, it is without an I, because I represents the self. And so David selflessly is David without I, and that just gives us DAVD. And then DAVD took off armor. And it's very common for clothing in cryptic crossword clues to represent the outer layers of words. If a word is naked, you would remove the outer layers. And so here armor is kind of doing that job as well. David takes off the armor, the outer layers, the D and the D. We've already removed the I, so that leaves us with AV. And that AV is pulled back, which is a reversal indicator. If you pull something back, if you pull back a page, or if you pull back some sheets, you're turning it over, you're reversing it. And so now we have VA. And then we finish with slingshot eviscerated. And eviscerated really just means gutted. You take the guts out. It's kind of the opposite of taking the armor off. Instead of taking the outer letters off, you take all the inner letters off. And so slingshot eviscerated is just ST, giving us the word vast, another word for giant.